We on the record now? Yes. Oh, okay. So, yeah, there's Rondo sitting there. Let me just look at this. This is from Cruz. I read this before, but I'm reading it again. Okay, so Mr. Rondo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so a couple things came up today. We're going to get to your latest furlough request, but I wanted to go over a couple of things with you that we ran into before. We got 4 cause numbers here: XZ 137308, 137307, 137306, 137289, and then 9Z 9791111. All of those cause numbers on these 2 findings of fact that I'm going to review with you. Going back to June 12th, you and I had a discussion about how the bus returned to town at 4:40 in the afternoon on June 12th, but you didn't make it back to the jail till 6 p.m., 6:17. So you were out and about somewhere. We never figured out where. I think you said you went to the pharmacy. I'm not sure, but anyway, you didn't get back to jail when you were supposed to get back to jail. So you were out there around the town. And I'm finding, based on that prior situation, that you were in contempt of court at that moment, that it took you almost 2 hours to get back in jail, 2 hours past the bus. And then we just had another incident I just read about, where you were released, I believe, on July 13th. And my instructions are on those orders to release and return per jail bus schedule. In other words, I'm trying to get you and the jail to coordinate bus schedule. Right. And it turns out that on that particular day, Officer Cruz, you were released and then you were supposed to return to jail. And Officer Cruz saw you at a residence on Terra Eden, Misty Circle and Forks, at approximately 16:02, so 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're having trouble getting you back to the jail. I'm finding you in contempt of court on both those dates, the July 13th and the
July 17th, I think.
Or yeah, July 17th, thank you. And then the June 12th. So what I have to do is I have to give you some jail time for contempt of court, Mr. Rondo. Did you want to say anything in your defense on those 2 dates? You're having trouble getting back to jail on time, and we don't know where you are when you're not back at jail.
On the first one, Your Honor, I was at the pharmacy. I was waiting for a prescription. It's noted that I was there. There was a problem between the medicine that I'm getting here from Bowie Show Clinic and the medicine that I was getting from Elwha Medical. So I sat there until they figured out the discrepancy between who's paying for what. If I'm responsible for one medicine, the jail's responsible for another. I grab my medicine as fast as I can. The second issue, I went in, I took a phone transit into the medical. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I got a ride back with my girlfriend. We got in an argument. I left my paperwork in the vehicle. She went to the house with my paperwork. I didn't have a phone. I don't have a cell phone to call her to get it. So I went back to the house to get the paperwork, and I was getting the paperwork and I was coming on my way back when I guess Mr. Cruz saw me. So the second one, I would say that I shouldn't have been where I was, but I was just getting my paperwork and coming back to the jail. I'm not doing drugs anymore, Your Honor. I'm not running around breaking the law or running amok or doing anything. Just having problems with no vehicle right now to do anything that I need to do to get these furloughs done. And I'm trying my hardest to get these medical things taken, Your Honor. I wish there was someone who could modify my sentence to help me do this. I don't know what to do right now, and I'm doing everything I can, and I apologize.
Well, no. So how much time do you think you have left on those sentences I gave you before? How far into it are you?
I'm 100 or 230 days or something into the sentence by the time we were going to review it in September, you said, Your Honor, and I was
right. I know.
We could review it somehow.
Well, you hold that thought.
with
You
the
hold that
medical
thought for a
issues that
second.
have
I want
going
to,
on.
hang on. I want to hear what Mr. Fleck has to say about, I've just found you in contempt on 2 different occasions. So I want to hear what Mr. Fleck's response to your arguments are.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, going back in memory, I didn't pull cases, but going back in memory, I think my office originally asked for a discussion about the one in June, to the point to where we're like, okay, here's the form that we now have to start giving Mr. Rondo.
Right.
Here's, keep note of this, and let's see if he complies. And I mean, I think the furlough, I'd have to see what the furlough said for the July 17th one, but I believe the one for July 17th, I don't know if he was going to take the bus there or.
We got 2. I did one of the traditional ones and we've got your new order. Oh, you do? Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm just trying to see, okay, where are we? Part of it's, yeah, and part of it's sorting. I mean, first of all, Your Honor, I think it is appropriate for the city to point out that now the court, which is rightly so, because these are court orders, is having to do what the city was doing, which is come up with paperwork and babysit Mr. Rondo. I am at a loss what we do here, because in these situations, he makes an appointment. We're trying to get him to his appointment. And then, it'll be like, well, I'll take the bus. And then suddenly he's not on the bus. He's with Marva, his girlfriend. And then he's back early or things like that. The one in June, that's what we showed forward, and that's what we argued with that. And so we came up with here's the suggestion order to try to stop this. Right. And I don't have the July 17th furlough request. That's what I was trying to find.
That's right here. So what I did on the 17th was I signed one of the jail's orders and I signed one of your orders. Okay. And I think I hope all the cause numbers are on there. You can check that for me. Because the one on top is one of our jail orders.
So I have a surgery pre-op for EEG, and he gave all that information. See, the dates never. So this is set on the 7th, 12. The date he needs the furloughs for the 31st of July. So
yeah, that's a big one.
That's a different one. So I'm trying to figure out the day when he was out where. Taking the bus. Well, this is for an appointment on the 21st. Okay, here's one for the 17th. So he's going to be, well, not signed the 17th. You'll see that's for the day of the 17th. Yeah, this is the day of the 17th. Okay, so I have a crown on our back mower, 2-hour appointment, 1 p.m. with Dr. Catelli. Depart from corrections. It says to take the bus, which that's what your order said, Your Honor. He said he didn't do that. So
I halfway did that. Sorry.
And so, he just admitted that he had his girlfriend drive him, and then, the idea was he would be out from 11:30. The bus is 11:30. He'd be back sometime after the bus arrives at 4:40. Officer Cruz saw him at 4 o'clock in someplace nowhere near the bus.
Right.
I took the bus on the way in.
Mr. Rondo, I'm so dang tired of you interrupting me.
Yeah,
if you can't do what I do to you, then I'm just going to ask the judge to impose 30 days on each one and maybe longer.
Right. Mr. Rondo, Mr. Fleck gave you an opportunity to talk without being interrupted, so now it's your turn to reciprocate. Go ahead, Mr. Fleck.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm just trying to clear that up.
You might be trying to clear it up, but you're not letting either me or Mr. Fleck finish your sentences, which is...
I think, and so, I understand Mr. Rondo has some health issues. The city has no problem to go and have these health issues addressed. Where the city is having a problem that Mr. Rondo, who says he understands and whatnot, has demonstrated time and time again, has no ability to follow a rule that you or anyone else sets down saying, this is what you will do. If you do this and do this, then you're following the rule.
Right.
He goes, well, I'm not running about, but that's exactly what Sergeant, not Sergeant Cruz, but that's what Officer Cruz saw him doing.
Right.
He was in Terra Eden. The bus doesn't go to Terra Eden, Your Honor. Bus 14, I've taken it myself. It does not go to Terra Eden and anywhere near Marva's house. So I don't know what you need to do with Mr. Rondo. I can tell you if we're going to get reviewing something in September, I'm going to point to the fact he's not followed anything.
Right.
And that we just keep more and more ways of trying to make sure he gets his medical appointment and comes straight back. And that seems to be something he is incapable of doing. And to the point to where I can tell you and Mr. Rondo, the chief and I are talking about whether or not when we have the new officer come on, whether we just start saying, well, we'll take you in and we'll bring you back.
Right.
And we'll wait out in the parking lot. And that way we know exactly where you're going, exactly when you get back, and we won't have this problem. Right. I also have this funny suspicion that if we started doing that a few times, Mr. Rondo would probably try to consolidate his appointments, and maybe we would not be here constantly trying to find a new way to create a new order to deal with Mr. Rondo on a new request.
So, Mr. Rondo, it's my turn now. Let's see, 968 days of suspended jail time being imposed. So I want to back up for a second before I get to how we're going to resolve this. When I threw out September as a suggestion for review, it was because I was kind of hoping that enough clean time might get you motivated to actually do what you were supposed to do. That doesn't mean we were going to grant you a furlough to go back to treatment. It just means I was willing to entertain that idea if it was looking promising. But we're not there at the moment. So you don't need to be projecting in your head. You don't need to be projecting to September, because we're not modifying your sentence today. We have the two contempts to deal with. So I want to tell you what it's like from my point of view. I've got an inmate in jail who needs medical appointments and is able to go to the Clown Clinic, the LWA Clinic, which is great. We're all in favor of that. But the situation I explained to you before is you create a problem for me when you're not following directions precisely and you're not getting back to jail. What would happen if you were involved with a crime, or you got assaulted, or something happened out there during one of these moments when, in theory, you're in custody and you're back here in jail because you're in custody, and the judge furloughed you to go to a medical appointment, but you're still in custody, and yet you're not actually in custody at that moment, but you commit a crime. Now I'm in a situation where I have to probably start denying people medical furloughs because you and I have this trust problem. And we've got a serious trust problem. There's no reason at all why you should be with your girlfriend during a medical furlough, or not back in court, or even waiting for medication. I've seen Chief Rowley in front of the drugstore waiting to pick up prescriptions, haven't I, Mr. Fleck? I mean,
I believe so. Yeah.
I think the jail tries to work with inmates on that. But the particular problem I have, Mr. Rondo, is you're out and about and running free when you're on a judicial furlough, and technically you're in custody, which creates a tremendous risk to yourself and to the jail and to the city of Forks, and it's a problem. And I'm tired of the problem, and it makes me not want to grant you any furloughs. I just got this new furlough request, and I'm thinking, how can I trust Rondo to go to his appointment and back without causing me more headaches? So what we're going to do, I don't want to hear your opinion on this. I'm just telling you from my point of view, I can't control what you're doing when you're out there, which is going to start making me say no to furloughs. You're that close to me just saying no more furloughs for 6 months, unless there's an emergency, because I can't handle it anymore. On the June 12th, we're going to impose 15 days consecutive to the whatever you're serving right now, the 968. And on the July 17th incident, where Officer Cruz sees you at Terra Eden, we're gonna impose 30 days. So you now got an extra 15 plus 30, you got an extra 45 days on your sentence. Now, and we're not gonna negotiate that. You earned it. Because you keep doing this thing now where I keep having to hear about you not being in custody when you're supposed to be in custody. So you've got a date of, I guess that this is a dental appointment for what day? Is that 8/4?
Yeah, I think it looks like, I think it's a doctor appointment, Your Honor.
It's a doctor and a
It
dentist.
says
appointment.
doctor appointment at LWAT Medical at 2:30.
Well, I've got two different things. We've got two different things. That's his dentist.
No, Your Honor, I have a doctor's appointment and a dentist appointment. I finally got them, get them both on the same
So they
day.
work, wait a
So
second.
it's 2 furloughs into one, Your Honor.
Okay, well,
A doctor and a dentist appointment.
are they the same day?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm not looking at bus schedules yet. I'm relying on the jail to look at a bus schedule.
Well, I mean, it's a 9:15 at the dentist. I think to get there, there's like a 7:30 bus. The 2:30 at the Elwa Medical Clinic. It's at the same clinic. Unfortunately, if he goes to one, he can't get back here and then try and take the bus back.
Right, I know, he's gonna be there for 2 or 3 hours. So, are you talking about hiring an officer, or is that decision?
Well, no, I mean, they have an officer that's going
Right.
through the basic academies right now. I don't know if he's back. And then when he's back, they do training and different
Right.
things. And transport training is a really thing I would argue the chief would be worth doing. But it's not my department. So I think the
Your appointment's here.
issue that's going to be here with this, I would caution the court to say, well, you can't have a furlough. We have to provide medical services, and unfortunately, there's some medical services we can't provide here.
Right,
Or ensure that the person has the ability to go reach medical services if they can pay for that or have it covered. So where I'm at is, I think if we're going to do this, again, my suspicion is the furlough gets granted. Mr. Rondo decides he doesn't take the bus. He'll do something else, and then we'll find out about it. And
well, he's gonna have to take the bus. There's no more girlfriend rides. I'm gonna
We will be
specify
doing
that.
no more messing around we will be.
Okay,
doing no more
you hang on a second.
transportation problems.
Hang on, Mr. Rondo. So the other thing we're gonna need, Mr. Fleck, is one of these new orders. In other words.
I think the court staff has.
Right,
my
I think so
proposed.
too.
And I mean, I just think that it's gonna have to say, this is what we expect, this is what we want, and maybe we'll see whether or not we can call in a favor from a law enforcement agency in another jurisdiction to drive by and see where Mr. Rondo is between, say, 10:30 and 2:30.
Yeah, because as far as I'm concerned, he's in custody. So if he.
Well, I mean, he should be somewhere close to the Elwa Clinic. Or if he's buying himself a lunch, then there's the store.
Yeah, there's a
two
store right
blocks
there.
away.
You can have a lunch.
There's two,
Yeah,
a block
I can
away. So
call.
he shouldn't be seen anywhere other than within that small circle of the clinic between the one store or the other.
I can call the jail, Your Honor. Well, in between the dentist and doctor's appointment, I can call from the agency.
I just don't want to have to read any more Rondo reports.
I don't want you to have to either, Your Honor. How about I
Release.
call from the dental or the medical
You just say
facility?
release per order,
Back
and
to
then
the jail.
maybe court staff can work on one of the detailed orders. And
Yeah, we're gonna have a detailed order. We'll
Your
do
Honor,
that here in a moment.
would that work?
Yes. What's that?
If I call from when I'm done with the medical appointment or the dental appointment at 9:15, if I call after I'm done with that, then I'm there, and then if I call in between there from the medical clinic and then call when I'm done, would that work for you?
Yeah, something like that, because we're gonna have a more detailed order in a second. I'm granting the furlough for 8/4, release per jail/bus schedule, return to jail immediately. So what I'm
via
gonna,
bus, I would suggest you write on there.
what's that?
Via bus.
Right,
On your-
via bus only, no girlfriend rides, via bus.
And then I think the detailed order needs to be there. Your Honor, I think I will ask and see if the police department can request a favor of another jurisdiction.
Well, maybe the Elwha. Yeah, and so Mr. Rondo, you're gonna have to stay on the clinic property or whatever, the reservation property. They've got the store there and maybe a restaurant. You're not allowed to leave
And
that
Your Honor,
area.
maybe we should put in this order.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
What?
Maybe we should put in this order that on the 4th of August
Yes.
of 2023, that Mr. Rondo have no contact with Marva Damon.
Oh, yeah, no.
And that might,
I don't
you know,
have any
that-
money to get to my furloughs without her giving me the money for bus money or for food or for anything. She is not the issue of the furlough. I promise you, she's only helped me. She's not
Well,
the
I
reason
mean,
why
this
I've
is-
done anything wrong. She
Fourth, yeah.
on the 4th of August, and I just think because her name keeps showing up on everything, and if we're going to have him take the bus, I'm sure I could ask the city police department and the jail to give him the bus passes necessary to get to and from the clinic.
And that's gonna go in our file. I just wanted to let you know what I did. So no contact with Marva. And release per bus schedule may not leave the clinic property.
And that no contact with Miss Damon is only on the 4th of August. So if she needs to come and give him money for something else, she can always do that through the jail and prior to the 4th of August.
Okay, so thank you,
I
Mr.
believe.
Fleck. We're gonna fill out one of your new orders.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so you get to go to your appointment on the 4th, Mr. Rondo, but you don't get to leave the clinic property, that reservation property right there where the store and stuff is. You're going over on the bus, you're coming back on the bus, and you're gonna be here on time. As soon as that bus drops you off, you're coming back to jail.
on the 4th.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rondo.
Thank you.
Are there people online